Hi, good morning, precious people. Here we are together. It's another fresh day, and I'm just so thankful for your irreplaceable light and the wisdom and the experience that you bring into the world. Today is a gift, so let's open it with kindness and curiosity. Just remember, we're all still growing and learning. We are, every single one of us. And if you wouldn't mind, grab your drink and let's check in with ourselves. Num num. That one that I'm drinking right now, I think it was an iced coffee with no ice, with white mocha syrup in it and brown sugar syrup and heavy whipping cream. It is a treat. And my water. And one more. Everyone knows by now what I'm drinking, and this is my brain juice. So good. When it's dissolved. I leave it in the fridge overnight so I can dissolve it. Well, let's take a deep breath. Why don't you take a deep breath with me? Check in with your body and your mind, because your emotions and things you're thinking can manifest in your body. So it's good to just several times a day just take a deep breath and just feel what you're feeling in your body. Okay, let's do that together. You ready? Okay. Feel something up here. Wonder what I was doing. Like holding my... Anyway, yeah, I feel like a little tightness up here in the front. I'll have to research that, look into that a little bit later. If you felt anything in your body, any place you're holding tension, you can think about, why was I being like that? And you can figure out, where you need to let it go. Like, let it go. We all have heard that 100 times. Let it go. It's easier said than done, though. So you have to kind of work at releasing this tension out of your body, the cortisol, the freak out that we are, the fight or flight that's programmed in us. It's just an email. It's not going to get you. It's not a lion. So let's see. I wanted to talk about superstition today because it's Friday the 13th and it's the second Friday of the 13th of this year. So typically if you get one in February, you get it in March because there's usually only 28 days in February, and so the months match each other. And I might want to talk about, I wouldn't say they're superstitions. I have things I think of. Well, we'll get into it. I'll see if anything comes up in my mind that I do. I have this theory about deja vu. I may, if I remember to share it with you towards the end, I will. So, today's March the 13th. It's the second Friday the 13th will hit this year. It's the perfect time to look at the psychology of superstition through our lens. Through my lens. I've been trying to talk about personal responsibility and internal locus of control this week. So, and the agency you have. So, we're going to look at superstition through those lenses. And we're going to look at why humans, especially in these times of global tension, we retreat into rituals, and luck is often a label we assign on the results of our own habits. Some people may just think they're more lucky. I talked about the lucky girl phenomenon a few weeks ago, a month ago. That's funny. Things you believe can manifest. Things you think about, you'll see more of, is the thing. So, and that can be labeled as luck, I guess. So, today's Friday the 13th. Are you staying indoors? Are you closing your blinds and holding on to your lucky rabbit's foot today? Did you lock your black cat outdoors? Just kidding. Or are you going to make your own luck? Today we're going to deconstruct why our brains love superstitions and how that internal locus of control is really the only charm you're going to need today. So, for about 21 million Americans, today is the day of... Do you guys know what the phobia of today is called? It's a long word. Friga-Triskaidekaphobia. So the triga that has the tri, the 3 in it, and then later on in the word it says deca, and that is usually 10. But this deca has a K in it. I'm going to play something I found. Let's see if you can hear it.
How do you go about pronouncing it? Friga-Triskaidekaphobia. Pretty straightforward, right? Friga-Triskaidekaphobia.
Friga, it's Frigga. Friga. Triskai, which is Triskai. Deca, Deka, and then phobia. Friga-Triskaidekaphobia. So, tell people if they're freaking out about Friday the 13th, they have that phobia. Let's see. I thought that was cool. I mean, how many letters is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It's a 23-letter word. So if you ever are in like a, what do you call it? A baby shower and they're like, come up with the longest word and you'll get a prize, or in some sort of trivia game or something, try to think of that word, because I don't know, there might be a longer word. Leave it in the comments if you know a longer word than 23 letters. The morbid fear of Friday the 13th. From the Knights Templar to the Last Supper, history has spent centuries trying to convince us that this specific square on the calendar is cursed. But today we're going to flip the script. We're talking about why superstition is actually a psychological safety blanket, and how relying on it too much can actually strip away your own personal responsibility. So grab your lucky rabbit's foot if you must, but keep your hands on the steering wheel. It's not just the date, it's the season. We're in the thick of March Madness. If you look at the stands today, you'll see people not wearing their unwashed socks, sitting in their lucky chair, and performing elaborate rituals to help their team win. In the news this morning, psychologists are pointing out that these rituals are surging in 2026. I wonder why. Why? Because guess what? Global uncertainty is high. War is looming. Gas prices. I mean, all this stuff going on in the Straits of Hormuz. When we feel like we can't control those big things, like the economy or these international conflicts, or even where our tax money is going, more and more is revealed about where all this money is going. I mean, fraud and abuse. And other countries, I had no clue we were giving money to the Taliban. Can you believe it? I watched another podcast about Sean Ryan. He had some special guests on, a couple of them, that exposed how much, like $30 million a week to terrorist groups. You guys, when we're finding out more and more stuff, the Epstein things, like, are kids really being eaten and babies' blood drank, or what? We're finding out all this stuff we have no control over. Guess what? Our brain starts looking for anything we can control. So even if it's just the order we put on our shoes and our socks. I mean, a lot of people feel like I'm going to have a good day if I put my socks on left to right. Or I used to think, and I'll share you one, I would drive to the airport when I worked for the airlines. And in Denver, there's a big street, a highway that goes into the airport. It's called Pena Boulevard. And when I drive down Pena, if I saw a hawk sitting on one of the streetlights, I'm like, I know I'm going to have a good day. Because basically the hawks were there every day, so I was just like grabbing onto something like, it's going to be a good day. So yeah, we all try to grasp at these little things that we may try to have control over when we do especially feel out of control. Psychologist Stuart Weiss describes superstition as a subset of paranormal beliefs that are pragmatic. Essentially, they're tools for controlling the uncontrollable. When you knock on wood, you're trying to lower your anxiety. And while that sounds harmless, there's a dark side where it's an external attribution. This is when you credit your luck for success or bad luck for failures. If you believe your poverty or your homelessness is just bad luck, you lose your drive to change your situation. You're giving up that agency, the locus of control. You're not doing yourself any favor, just saying, oh, it's just bad luck. You surrender your agency to some sort of ghost. Science shows that people with an internal locus of control, those who believe that they are the cause of their outcomes, actually perform better, stay healthier, and break generational cycles faster. I wanted to bring it back to Generation X. I've been harping a lot on my generation this week because I just feel like there's something special in us because of how we were raised. I don't know. I feel like we're the go-getters of the world. Now let's talk about us Generation Xers. We grew up in the era of step on a crack, break your mother's back. We were the king and queens of the jinx. But because we were so unsupervised, we also developed a very cynical relationship with luck. We knew that if we didn't lock the door, the boogeyman was going to come. Well, it wasn't a boogeyman, it was a burglar. Our superstition was usually just a high-level paranoia mixed with self-reliance. Today, the humor is in the 13 tattoos, where they're trending this year, I guess. It's called 13 flash tattoos. People are literally branding themselves with an unlucky number as a form of reverse psychology. Have you heard that song, Pretty Fly for a White Guy? And he asked for a tattoo that said 13, but they put a 31 on him instead. I died laughing when I first heard that song. It was so silly. But anyway, it's like a reverse psychology thing. And the ultimate Gen X move is, oh, you think this is lucky? Whatever. I'll put it on my arm. So we're really fighting these superstitions. Like, we truly believe in personal agency, working hard, getting what you want. So, community improvement doesn't just happen because of a 4-leaf clover. That is something I'm really passionate about. I really want improvements for everybody. I want homelessness to completely go away. I don't want to fund more homelessness. I want fixes. I want prevention. I want education. That's totally my vibe. And there's no luck in being housed, it's truly through your own work, hard work, and your work ethic. So anyway, that is just a little sidebar. So, community improvement happens because people take personal responsibility for their neighborhoods. As we look at the successful projects around us, like the new childcare expansion at the, it was SUNY, I pulled that up. I wanted to read to you about it. It was really a great program. Its childcare expansion at community colleges announced this week. We see that it wasn't luck that helped those student parents, it was policy, effort, and agency. This special light in children shouldn't be taught to fear dates on the calendar, which should be taught to build a life where the calendar doesn't matter. So today today, find a ladder and walk under it. Open your umbrella inside. Pet a black cat. It's okay. Just use that ladder to reach a higher shelf and take control of your life. It's so funny. Anyway, purposely doing these things that are supposed to be unlucky or whatever, I think is funny. Break a mirror or... I don't know, you throw salt over one of your shoulders if you knock it over on the table, something like that. I think it's so funny. Oh, I was going to say, my husband, when we first met, he was convinced every even numbered year, like we were married in 1997, so like 1998 came, with New Year's, and he's like, I'm ready for a bad year. Or, I might have been a couple years into our marriage. I just know this. For a long time, he thought, at the end of the year, he was like, that was an awful year. I'm so glad this year's over. Next year's an odd number year, so I know it's going to be good. Or next year's an even number year. I'm bracing myself. He had, maybe growing up, his dad went to prison. So I believe, he said he was 14 maybe, so maybe that was an even number year. Yeah, so there must have been some big things that happened in his life on even numbered years, and it just kind of stuck in his head that that's what's happening. But we got to a point, I think our son was 4 when we went to Disney World the first time, and then we skipped 2 years, went to Disney World 2 years later, and those were on even numbered years. So I feel like that might have broken his cycle because we had 2 amazing vacations on even numbered years. Let's see, both of our children were born on odd numbered years. How funny. We were married in an odd number year. So funny. Maybe he's on to something. It is 2026. I better watch out. Oh, and I had a friend who was swearing up and down February was her bad month. She's like, it's the month from hell, and everything's gone wrong this month. I mean, starting on the first day, I think there was some water damage, something broke in her house. Her refrigerator had to have like a repairman several times come do something with it. And I don't know, she just had such a rough month. Soon as it was February 28th, she's like, thank God this month is over. This has been an awful month. So, I mean, you can kind of trick yourself into believing good things are happening. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. If it's a positive and it motivates you to take control over your life, maybe those superstitions aren't so bad. Anyway, if you had anything you'd like to say, any sort of funny quirks in your family that happened, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I love to hear about other people's. Oh, before I go, I'm going to tell you about my idea about deja vu. Have you ever experienced like this, like feeling like I've been here before? I remember this. I know this has never happened, but somehow I'm remembering it. I believe that after you die, before your soul's taken away. You know, like you do a life review, you hear of these people who have passed away and came back to life. They're doing a life review. I feel like you're reliving your favorite parts of your life. So when I get that deja vu feeling, I'm like, yes, this is going to be my favorite part of my life. So that's just another little thing. Like I'm lying in my grave, I'm waiting for my soul to be taken to heaven, and I'm doing my life review, or, something like that. So it's comforting. A lot of people get weirded out and creeped out by deja vu, but I don't. I think it's very comforting, and I'm like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. That's what it feels like. So hopefully something I said today sparked a thought in you. Like I said, leave a comment. Tell me, like, what you do, what your family thinks, your superstitions or lucky rabbit's foot kind of thing you guys have at your home. A lot of people leave a Bible open on the counter or on their bedside table. And I don't think that's superstition. I think that's God's word, and it creates an atmosphere in your home. So every single day is a chance to keep learning and growing and becoming more of the wonderful person you are. The world is better with your light in it. Truly. The world is better with you here. So, thanks for sharing your time with me. I will be here tomorrow, but until then, keep drinking your coffees. Ooh. And living your best life. And it's Friday the 13th. Go out there and do something special. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time. Remember, you're the Lord's precious one. Bye.